Hi there. I'd like to have a word, quiet word in your ear, if you will, about the ongoing Skyrim Let's Play that I am currently doing. It will contain some spoilers, this video will, about the quests that I want to send the character on, but not specifically about the character himself. So just so you know that. But I gotta get some stuff off my chest about it and about how things are going. And I kind of get why I suppose some people might have given up on the LP, because the last couple of recording sessions I've had, I've been pretty dissatisfied with. Sorry. Because it's kind of lacking direction. I want to take it in a direction, but due to factors that I've said in the LP already, for example, the nature of the character, my own choices, and some randomness within the game, plus the way the game is kind of set up, and I'll get onto that in a little while, it's taken a bit of effort to get the character to where I need him to be and do what I need him to do in order to let the game, have the game let me join the Dark Brotherhood, which is basically what I want to do. There's two major things I want to put into the LP. That is the Dark Brotherhood and its Dawnguard. You may well have been able to tell by now that he's not the Dragonborn. I wasn't sure about that, by the way, whether he would be or not, but I've decided against it, purely because of the issues we're having with the fact that it's so difficult to get anywhere with anything. Now, of course, the main quest would have been the easiest to fall into in terms of seeing the Greybeards and stuff, and I thought about maybe rejoining it, because I did some tests, and currently if I go and see the Greybeards now, despite the fact that I haven't turned in the quest to the Jarl, I can still talk to them as the Dragonborn, because they've summoned me. So I did think about doing that, but I'm not going to. I would like to join the Dark Brotherhood. That was always something that Rast was going to do. It's just so difficult to do it. Numerous things happened, and I think the first 40 episodes or so were alright, because we learned a lot about the character. He did his own little assassination on that woman in Riverwood. Can't remember her name now. And I liked a lot of things that happened. I liked the Speaksy thing and everything like that. Yeah, but lately I've been trying to push things along, and it's so difficult because the character is so random and so difficult to control, if you like, and the game insists on sending me to the far reaches across the map, which I can understand because the developers want you to send, in different areas so you see the world that they've created. I totally get that. But this character is so hard to get where I need him to be, because of his skittish nature and the randomness of him and the way he can get distracted so easily, that it's difficult to put him in the places I want him to go. So, I mean, like, for example, I've recently learned that I've killed Grelod the Kind, and I now have to go back up north to turn the quest into that child in order for the Dark Brotherhood to accept me, for that to sort of like happen. And in my mind's eye, when I was thinking about the way this was going to work, I didn't think it would work like that. I thought that once I killed Grelod the Kind, that would be when the Dark Brotherhood would come at me, would be like, we know type thing. But it isn't. It's when you turn the quest in to the child. And I was kind of gutted about that, to be honest, because I've got to force the character to go back north again to do that. And I don't think he would. I can't see Rast wanting to tell the child that she was dead. I just don't think that his thought process would go in a loop like that. There are other things pushing him north as well, for example, the Azura's Star, and the fact that we got thrown out of the Mages Guild, and we got to go back and take our vengeance. I've recently sort of done some checks, and I don't think that the Mages Guild are connected to anything else, so I think I can kill them all by removing their essential NPC tags, and I don't think I will interfere in any major quests that I want to do, i.e. Dark Brotherhood and Dawnguard. And I've never played Dawnguard before, by the way. I've done the Dark Brotherhood in the past, but never Dawnguard, so it's kind of, what I was thinking, it's kind of like a parallel to my Oblivion Let's Play, whereas, you know, the main character in that was doing Knights of the Nine, and I hadn't done Knights of the Nine before, but that's a DLC. And Dawnguard's a DLC, but I haven't done that before, but that's kind of a darker DLC than, you know, so, you know, Dark Brotherhood and a Knight, complete opposites type thing. That's what I was sort of going for, and I'm still going for. But this bloody character, and, you know, the game throws these things at me, so I've got to go all the way north again. It's just really difficult to get things moving. So I'm just having problems putting him where I need to put him, because I want to stay in character. I don't want to just go from A to B. But in order to not go from A to B, there has to be stuff in the middle. And that's the stuff that's dragged it out for 70-odd episodes so far without things really, you know, progressing as much as I should. And well, as it should. And I can see why some people may have given up on the LP and lost patience with it, because we got a lot of tidbits about Rast's, you know, nature and background. The first couple of dozen episodes, if you like, you know, we learned things, you know, bit by bit. If you watch the LP all the way through, which I'm sure some of you have, and I do very much appreciate it, there's a lot in there that Rast sort of like said to himself or done to hint at his past, but that can only carry you so far, and I need to get stuff done in the game. I need to put him in places so that plot can happen. It's difficult to do. So I'm finding the balance between playing the character and playing the game quite difficult. That's basically the crux of this video, to let you guys know that, you know, some of you are quite dissatisfied with the way things maybe are going, and I fully appreciate that, because so am I. But I don't want to break the character and, you know, just head up north to turn the quest in. I need to find a reason for him to do that, and yes, the Mages Guild is something that would lead him there, but it just seems so contrived. I want him to sort of like, you know, fall into it rather than decide, because Rast doesn't really decide that much. It's just the kind of instinctive kind of way that he thinks. You know, there's nothing really to trigger that thought of going to the Mages Guild, or to, you know, go and talk to that child again. But I've got to go up there. So the only other thing is Azura's Star, so I'm going to have to use that to get him up there. And then, you know, when I do start the Dark Brotherhood, when that happens, you get taken to like Shack, don't you, which is near Solitude. And so that's another area of the game, and it's a bloody swamp as well, so he's going to love it there. So he's going to spend about 50 hours there doing stuff before we actually, you know, so it's really, you know, because he would do that. He would like, oh yeah, finally I'm in a swamp. But yeah, then he would have the Dark Brotherhood pull towards him to sort of like get him out of that area, I suppose. But you know, these sort of thoughts are with me all the time. Like, you know, how am I going to get him into that place, head him into that direction without just making it seem so contrived? And I've sort of fallen into that in the last, you know, couple of episodes, where I just decided to go to Falkreath to do that quest for the Jarl there, because it was just close by. None of you sort of like called out that it broke character, but for me it kind of did. But, you know, he killed Girl of the Kind, and so that was sort of like, that was it. There was nowhere to stay in Riften, so I suppose like Falkreath was the nearest safe place that he knew, so he just headed back that way. So you can explain it away that way, I suppose. But yeah, that was a definite A to B thing that I haven't really done before. And there was that little set 2 with the Stormcloaks in between, because I try to have stuff happen in between, but at the same time I don't want too much to happen, because it gets bogged down. But then again, I don't want to go to A to B, because, you know, it's not in the character's nature. So it's very difficult for me, is what I'm saying, to match the character and the game, so I get things right. I think once we get into it, and once he starts getting these contracts and get sent on these jobs, and I think it'll be better then, because then he'll have some sort of mission. He'll have a drive. You know, you'll have noticed that when he gets a mission, especially from someone he likes, he goes to do it, and he doesn't really stop at much to get it done. It's just, I can understand why some people are, have either stopped watching it or are thinking, this isn't really happening. I get it. I feel the same way. And hopefully, like in the next coming videos, I can fix that. So this episode, as you may well be able to tell, will replace one episode of Skyrim. I don't know whether I'll put it into the playlist or not. I might. But I didn't want to put it in the LP. I wanted to make a separate video to address my thoughts on it, and to hopefully, because I've done that in the LP, but this is a bit longer, a bit more in depth. So I made another video. So I'm sorry there will be no Skyrim upload today. This is it. I just wanted to get stuff off my chest, basically, so you guys can understand where I'm coming from with it, and I feel what you guys are saying, and give me your thoughts. I would like to have some input on it, and you guys are giving input within the LP, and I do appreciate that, and I do take it on board, and I do reply to a lot of it. I just wanted to get this out there. So I hope you enjoyed that little talk. Let me know what you think about it. Hope it wasn't too long. I just needed to get that out there. So it's out there. So I shall shut up now. And the LP will resume next week. But just need to state that. So give me your thoughts and any questions and stuff. And I shall see you guys later. Toodaloo.